Very much, sweetheart. I'm so okay.
I got your good side, don't worry.
There is no side. If you can find it, let me know. Okay?
Heart problem.
I didn't know. You want to sit with us?
Make it easier for you. Yeah. Well, question. Yes. Our seats need to get started. I just got to set this up. I'm going to call you later. Prayer, just sit down. Stand up. Hi, Gerald. Welcome, and thank you for attending Boy Scout Troop 306's Eagle Scout Court of Honor for Gerald Thomas Cook. Please take this moment to be seated and silence all electronic devices. Remember, a scout is courteous. We're just having some technical difficulties, so just hang on a minute, if you don't mind. Please welcome Anthony Cook to lead us in the invocation. Please all rise for prayer. Please bow your heads and remove all coverings. Dear Lord, today we thank you this morning for bringing us all together to join in the celebrating of Gerald earning of his Eagle Scout rank. We ask that you would bless this ceremony and make all that we do glorious in your name, and help us have a good service. In your name we pray, amen. You may be seated. Thank you, Anthony. Now, please welcome Senior Patrol Leader Bruce Wilder to lead us in the presentation of the colors.
Color Guard, please prepare for the opening ceremonies. Audience, attention. Color Guard, attention. Color Guard, advance. Color Guard, halt. Color Guard, advance. hoist your colors. Troop salute, all is hand over heart. Please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, honor your colors. 2. Color guard, regroup. Color guard, dismiss. The audience may now be seated. All scouts, please remain standing for the recitation of the Scout Oath and Law. Scouts, please join me in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, to guide my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout Law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Scouts may be seated.
May I introduce our district representative, Mr. Walter Ritterbush, to convene this court of honor.
How you doing today?
Fine.
Good. As a member of the National Council in Ivan, Texas, Central Florida Council, Tuscarora District, I now declare that this court of honor for Gerald Cook is now open. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ritterbush. Now please join me in recognizing Troop 306's committee chair, Mr. Bill Auerbach. Chartered Organization Representative, Sherry McGill. And all Eagle Scouts that are present here today. And all of our troop committee members. Thank you. To begin, you have now all heard the Scout Oath and Law, these moral codes of conduct that we follow as members of the BSA. But where did it come from? You will now hear from these boys themselves as they tell the history behind the Scout Law.
One of the oldest surviving set of rules for how men should behave comes to us from the ancient Greeks. In the 3rd century BC, young men of 17 took the following oath to become citizens of Athens. We will never bring disgrace on this, our city, by an act of dishonesty or cowardice. We will fight for the ideals and sacred things of the city both alone and with many. We will revere and obey the city's laws and will do our best in sight of like reverence and respect in those above us and are prone to annul them or set them at naught. We will strive increasingly to quicken the public sense of civic duty. Thus, in all ways, we would transmit the city, not only for less, but greater, better, and more beautiful than what is transmitted to us.
With the growth of modern religions, another simpler idea of how men should behave developed. Referred to as the Golden Rule, it is taught by religions as diverse as Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, and Brahmanism. Christianity version is found in Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. So in everything do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and prophets.
During the Middle Ages, the code of chivalry was developed to teach knights how they should behave. One form of this code reads as follows. Be always ready with your armor on, except when you are taking your knight at rest. Defend the poor and help them that cannot defend themselves. Do nothing to hurt or offend anyone else. Be prepared to fight in the defense of your country. At whatever you are working, try to win honor and a name for honesty. Never break your promise. Maintain the honor of your country with your life. Rather die honest than live shamelessly. Chivalry requires that youth be trained to perform the most laborious and humble honest offices with cheerfulness and grace, and do good unto others all above.
In the early years of the 20th century, a man named Robert Stephen Smith Baden-Powell took all these codes of conduct for men and made it into a code acceptable for both men and boys. The Scout Law, as called it, originally read as follows. The Scout's honor is to be trusted. The Scout is loyal to his king, his officers, his country, and to his employers. The Scout's duty is to be useful and to help others. The Scout is a friend to all and a brother to every other Scout, no matter what social class he belongs. The Scout is courteous. The Scout is a friend to animals. The Scout obeys order of his patrol leader or Scoutmaster without question. The Scout smiles and whistles under all circumstances. The Scout is therapy.
A few years later, Baden-Powell's program and ideas crossed the Atlantic Ocean. With the founding of the Boy Scouts of America, this Scout Law was transformed into the code that more than 9 billion boys have learned and lived by. As it stands today, any Scout can say he is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Now that we have heard about the ideals that drive each of these scouts, what does it mean to be an Eagle? We have asked Eagle Scout Tyler Garris to tell us. Whenever he gets back.
We're here this morning, to honor Gerald as he becomes an Eagle Scout. As we do so, it's important to reflect on what it means to be an Eagle Scout. The 1938 handbook for Scoutmasters put it this way. I'm out of breath, sorry. The badges which accompany his advancement and which the Scout wears on his uniform are not to show that he has passed certain tests. There should be no past tense implied. On the contrary, each badge cries out, I can, right now, and here. So what can the Eagle Scout do? Let's take a look at some of the things he has done in preparing to be an Eagle Scout. In terms of badges, he has earned a Scout badge, the ranks of Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, Life, and finally the Eagle Scout badge. Along the way, he earned 13 required merit badges and 8 elective merit badges, served in troop leadership positions for a minimum of 16 total months, and spent at least 13 hours on service projects, not including the many hours he spent on his Eagle Scout service project here at the church. He created an outdoor meditation area, including building 5 wooden benches, a fire ring, a bear-proof trash can, and clearing the area and surrounding trail to make it more accessible to the members here. In all, he has completed over 320 different requirements. So what have these requirements taught him? Who is the Eagle Scout? First and foremost, of course, he is an outdoorsman. He knows how to camp, swim, hike, use wooden tools, build a fire, use a camp stove, and find his way with a map and compass, or just use his own wits. He spent 95 days and nights camping out in a tent he pitched on a site he selected. Many of those times, he planned his own menu and budgeted, purchased, and cooked his own food. The Eagle Scout is comfortable with nature. He can identify local animal and plants, including poisonous, venomous, or otherwise dangerous ones. He understands the causes of water, land, and air pollution and developed a project to solve an environmental problem. He embodies the Scout motto, be prepared. He knows how to treat fractures, head injuries, hypothermia, convulsions, frostbite, burns, abdominal pain, muscle cramps, and even knocked out teeth. He knows what to do in case of a fire, explosion, desert emergency, motor vehicle accident, mountain accident, food poisoning, gas leak, earthquake, flood, tornado, hurricane, an atomic emergency, and even an avalanche. The Eagle Scout is a good citizen. He's been to a city meeting and knows how the city government is organized. He knows who his U.S. senators and representatives are, and has written a letter to one of them about a national issue that he cares about. He's read and understands the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution. He knows how to manage his money and understands the risks and benefits of putting his money in savings bonds, mutual bonds, common stock, and real estate. He has set financial goals and works towards achieving these goals. The Eagle Scout has also set, worked, and continues to work towards fitness goals. He's competed against others and himself in tests of aerobic endurance, flexibility, and muscular strength. He knows what it means to be physically, mentally, and socially fit. He's a good family member. He knows what things are important to the members of his family, and he's talked to his family about finances, drug abuse, and the human life cycle. All of these things he did in order to earn the merit badges required for Eagle. Beyond those, he earned 7 selective merit badges, which introduced him to subjects as engineering, aviation, electronics, automotive maintenance, and surveying. So what is an Eagle Scout? Well, to quote the old handbook for Scoutmasters again, he is someone who is qualified to help others as well as take care of himself. His badge is not just a decoration, but rather a symbol of knowledge and ability. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. It's now time for the highlight of our program, the presentation of the Eagle Scout Award. I'd like to ask Scoutmaster Charlie Luckhart to come forward and say a few words about our Eagle Scout candidate.
We've heard a lot of things tonight about, or today, what it takes to be an Eagle Scout. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about our honorary scouting experiences and what I have observed in him as Scoutmaster of Troop 306. The only way I can do that is by going back to the beginning. Does anybody remember the first time they met Gerald? He was 12 or 13, and he'd come visit the Weeblo Den that his brother was in to try to recruit us, and tell us about the virtues and how good Boy Scouts is. The Weeblos didn't really care about that too much because they're having a good time running around. Nobody wanted to stop having fun. So Gerald called attention and then did this. Boy Scouts didn't really pay it no mind. So after about 30 seconds, Gerald just, I've got all night. Still standing there. 30 seconds later, all the boys sitting in their chairs, watching, listening. See, I wasn't a leader back then, but young Gerald was. And the only reason I mention this is because when it come time for the troop to send one of the scouts to the National Youth Leadership Training, the troop voted to send Gerald. And Troop 306 has benefited from his dedication and leadership skills ever since. Gerald takes the responsibility of any position that he holds very seriously. And as a scout in Troop 306, Gerald has held the following positions of responsibility. He was an Order of the Era Representative, which is the honor roll for Boy Scouts. He's a troop guide, an assistant patrol leader, quartermaster, assistant senior patrol leader, senior patrol leader, and junior assistant scoutmaster. The whole time he had those positions, and when I was at scoutmaster, he made my life really easier. So it's not surprising that he made the rank of Eagle. But now Gerald has aged out. But is that going to stop him from helping the troop? No. He's now an adult leader, just doing his best.
We will now present a slideshow of Gerald's Trail to Eagle.
It's going to work this time. Gerald.
We had a distinct opportunity to attend a day camp in Michigan.
Yes.
And it was really different than day camp here.
Hey Tyler, is the muted or something?
I don't know with the sound. I don't know why it's not working.
Okay.
Check the volume.
Yeah, I tried.
Can you sing?
Their picture of you.
Car wash for Eagle Project. Oh, yeah.
That was intentional. That was you and Simba. Feel free to commentate.
We are District Camp Parade.
What is that?
Is that up at the property on High Bank?
Yeah.
That's Jambo 2010.
Is that where Obama's from?
No, refuse.
Okay, 3 out of 4.
Yes.
DT2. Yeah, in this song it says turning upside down. You'll see why it's relevant in a second. Gerald, which one are you?
The one with the legs.
Two of those. That was fun.
Yeah, fine. That must have been when the bus broke down and they had to.
Those the timeout chairs?
Skip to that one.
Next.
Pretty much every way to Sunday.
More snacks.
You guys got your I had some pictures of you in your
How much you bench?
Yeah, that's the fun part. This is how it's supposed to be. That's actually in Florida.
Oh, damn, right?
Yeah. We went all around the state that We all so happy to be there. That was actually like Tampa. That was Jacksonville. It's where you almost killed me. That part. I usually die. So we cooked food in the parking lot. This is an Osteen. Is that the signal? It's the signal.
Those good eggs, I remember that. No, that's
Gerald didn't have to learn Scoutmaster's position for camping.
For those of you guys who haven't seen it yet, we can go out afterwards and go visit. It's right outside here in the back.
What's the name of it?
Honestly, the total time in the song is barely less than it's like 4 seconds less than the whole thing.
I think we actually did use algebra for this project.
Yeah, look, actually more geometry than anything. Measuring the exact distance around the height. Oh, there's trees. Oh yeah, that's like right after I fractured my spine. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, we put all the boards on the, we flipped around a couple times and we're putting them in from the inside.
I'd like to see if they were trying to get on that.
Yeah, that is very heavy. Then we marked on the sides where the handles would go and screwed them in when it was really dark out. Well, there was one where he attacked me, but I didn't put that one in. No, there's this last part. Fast forward. I have those shoes on.
Mobbed by a flock of eagles.
Well, we're not done. Our future.
The future is in front. Thanks, Tyler.
escort the candidate forward.
More truth. Okay.
By becoming an Eagle Scout, you gain more than a pretty medal to wear. You also gain some very important duties and responsibilities. I now call Eagle Scout Ryan Auerbach to the podium to outline what is expected of you.
I ask that you listen carefully to these words and weigh their meaning to your hearts. I have the honor to give you, Gerald Cook, the Eagle Scout charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest award in scouting. The Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You have been judged by the Boy Scouts of America as being worthy of this honor. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked man. I just took a trip to the Twilight Zone. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to your duty to God, to your country, to your fellow Scouts, and to all of mankind. This is a great undertaking. As an Eagle Scout, you are obligated to the badge that you wear. As the symbol of what you have become and of the morals of scouting, it calls you to live with courage, honor, and loyalty through its colors of red, white, and blue. The scroll of the badge demands service to others above all else. The final obligation of the badge is to lead with vision, as only true eagles can look to our future and guide us to safety. Let the silver eagle of the badge guide you as not only a heading on the compass, but let it enable you to be the compass for those who follow. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your brother Scouts. America has many good things to give to you and your children after you. But these good things depend, for the most part, on the quality of her citizens. Our country has had a great past. You can help make the future even greater. I charge you to undertake the citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the high level of service to God and to your fellow man. So live and serve that those who know you will be inspired to find a living. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you, Gerald Cook, to be among those who dedicate their skills and ability to the common good. Build America on the solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. Whatever others may do, you will leave behind a record of which every Scout may be proud.
When we began our program today, you joined your fellow Scouts in repeating the Scout Oath and Law. Now you will stand alone and repeat a new oath, the Eagle Scout Promise. Though the words you say are similar to those that you have said many times before, these will mean more to you than they ever have before. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your oath with words which close the Declaration of Independence.
At this time, may all Eagle Scouts present today stand and rededicate themselves by repeating the Eagle Scout Promise with our new Eagle Scouts. Stop sign. I reaffirm my allegiance.
I reaffirm my allegiance
To the three promises of the Scout Oath.
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize.
I thoughtfully recognize
and take upon myself.
and to take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities
of an Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to make my training an example,
to make my training an example,
my rank and my influence
my rank and my influence
count strongly for better scouting
count strongly for better scouting
and for better citizenship
and for better citizenship
in my troop and in my community,
in my troop and my community,
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this, I pledge my sacred honor.
To this, I pledge my sacred honor.
Two.
Would the honor guard please escort the candidates' parents forward? The time has finally come, and the honor of pinning your eagle on your uniform rightfully falls to the persons most responsible for you being here, your parents. Your mother has undoubtedly been the greatest source of inspiration in your quest for the Eagle Award. I'm going to ask that she pin on you the Eagle Award on your left pocket and replace your neckerchief. As the symbol of what your mother has done for you and made possible for you, please present your mother with the Eagle Scout Mother's Pin. Of fatherly advice and guidance along the trail to Eagle, I will ask this Eagle Scout's father to now present his son the Eagle Scout certificate and personal letter of commendation from the Chief Scout Executive of the Boy Scouts of America.
I'll just read this for you.
Dear Gerald, congratulations on the attainment of Eagle rank. You have achieved the ultimate rank in scouting and have every reason to be proud. As you accept this honor, I challenge you to remember those who have made it possible. Think especially of your scoutmaster, parents, and the other young men in your troop who have given you the support you needed in achieving this high objective. I commend you for what you have accomplished, but also remind you that the Eagle is a lifelong rank. Those of us who have earned it must spend the rest of our lives living up to its expectations. Those expectations include strict adherence to the Scout oath and law, and returning to scouting, part of what scouting has given to us. I wish you the very best in scouting and in life. I hope that you will someday choose to be a volunteer leader and help other young men have the same worthwhile experiences that have been available to you. Sincerely, Ron A. Oates.
In return for all that he has done for you, please present your father with the Eagle Father's Pin. Vested in me by this Court of Honor and the Boy Scouts of America, I present to you our newest Eagle Scout, Gerald Cook. May I congratulate you again, and may I remind you that scouting should now become an even greater tie between the son and parents, binding you even more closely as a family. To you, Eagle Scout, Gerald Thomas Cook, I express confidence that you will honor scouting with your life and service as today's scouting honors you. Honor Guard, please escort Gerald's parents to their seats. Please welcome Troop Advancement Coordinator Orlena Garris as she comes forward for a few words about our new Eagle Scout.
Thank you, Kenny. Well, it is the tradition at Troop 306 to present a plaque to the Eagle Scout during his Court of Honor ceremony. Gerald is our 17th Eagle Scout since the troop was formed back in 2004. Number 17, that's something to be said for. Very, very proud of him. It reads, character is doing what's right when no one or nobody is looking. Abraham Lincoln once said, reputation is the shadow, character is the tree. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing. Our character is much more what we try for others to see. It is who we are, even when no one is watching. Good character is doing the right thing because it is right to do what is right. When we joined Scouts back in 2007, they didn't tell me it's something that every mother in this room knows. When you commit your son to scouting, you commit your entire family to scouting. That is so true. I was so naive. I thought that being a scouting parent meant buying a uniform, delivering my son to meetings and campouts. Well, here I am today as the advancement chair for Troop 306, who gets the privilege and honor to recognize this outstanding young man. He joined as a very young boy, as you saw on that slideshow. And today he's recognized for achieving what only 4% of all Scouts have. He has done this while taking advanced placement courses, playing the French horn in the UHS Titan Regiment Marching Band. Not only that, and being second in command with his junior ROTC. That's pretty impressive. Gerald is a true leader. Even though his tenure as a youth with Scouting has come to an end, he has joined our troop as an assistant Scoutmaster. I cannot think of a better example for our boys to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, these boys are the reason we are committed to the Scouting organization. We are helping shape today's boys into the men of tomorrow. Congratulations again, Gerald. So proud of you. Now, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Margaret Farmer for a very special presentation for Gerald.
Number one, she expects me to do it without tears, and that's not going to happen.
That's why I have to go first.
That's why she went first, okay.
I cheated.
Okay, when Orlena mentioned family and getting involved, I got involved the year before the Cooks did as a Tiger parent, and boy, naive is not the word, okay? I don't even remember what year that was. It goes way too far back. Gerald joined us in second grade as a wolf. He got his Bobcat requirement done, then did wolf, bear, weeb 1, weeb 2. Cressy was my right-hand person the entire time. Barry pitched in at the pack level as well. Anthony joined the year after Gerald did. So it truly was a family affair. By the time we got to Webelow 2, we were down to 2. That would be Gerald and my son Tyler. So I am so proud to say, hey, we're at the 50% mark of that Webelow's patrol. Tyler's working on his, he needs encouragement. And I have held this since 2008, when you boys crossed over, and I made the promise that whoever made Eagle first was going to get the Webelow 2 patrol flag.
Yes, it says Osteen.
Yes, it does say Osteen. That's Pack 130. The original Pack 130 was in Osteen. And we even have the 2007 Weebelow's Woods, when there was, yes, the dynamic duo. So that was their dynamic duo as GTC, G-Man, and Tyler. So, congratulations.
We'll have time for plenty more photos, so don't get too many cameras out.
Now, Eagle Scout Gerald Cook will step forward for a few words.
Well, I could have said that, but just a couple things I'd like to say, just being here and all that. First off, thank you all for coming. To some degree, it may have been a little bit last minute for some of you, but regardless, it came together, at least today. So I'm thankful for that. But I'm up here just to talk about, my experiences in scouting, because for me, without this, I really just wouldn't be the same person. Because, with ROTC especially, I became very, very involved with that these last couple of years, and I would not have probably even considered it without wanting to become more of a leader through scouting. So really, if I hadn't had that start, it would have been a very, very different person. Those of you that have known me that long, back into 6th grade and beyond, I was very different even then. I very rarely said anything at all, ever. I kind of sat there. I had my nose in a book probably 90% of the time. And when I did say something, probably no one even heard me anyway. But I've slowly been kind of working on that a little bit. Otherwise, I wouldn't be saying anything up here, I guess. But, you know, scouting, I've had many great experiences, whether it be going out of state and going to the USS Yorktown, Virginia, and running through the halls underneath the ship, and finding the brig, and almost getting locked in. That was very, very fun. And in of that, as well as all the summer camp photos that you guys saw up here, just memories that I'm not going to be able to forget. And, you know, I've had, of my original patrol, Devin's here today, Ryan Thompson, Ryan Auerbach. So can anyone give those alligators a hand, please? They stuck with it to some degree, and they at least came here to see me today, and I'm really glad about that because it would not have been the same without you guys helping me along. I was fortunate enough to even be our first patrol leader way back when, so it gave me a good start. That's it for all the mushy stuff. I'm not really too good at that. And I'd like to thank some people for helping me just along this path, not just talking about myself. So would Scoutmaster Charlie Lookout please come forward? Mr. Lookout, when our troop was close to the brink of, oh crap, we don't have a Scoutmaster. What are we going to do? We don't have a meeting place. What are we going to do? You stepped up out of all of us. And for that, there's really no word I could give you that would mean just as much as that. But even beyond that, you've not only taken the position and done it, you've made it even better, and you've grown our troop to what it is today. And within this last couple months, we've gained 9 scouts. That is no small feat.
It's growing as well.
Yes, it is. And for that, there's no higher gift that I can give you. This is all I have, but I hope that it helps out a little bit. Got to even them out anyway. You got 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Well, actually, that's the other. Where would you like it?
Where would you like it?
Okay,
Straight in the heart.
Straight in the heart?
What is it?
Yeah, Gerald, what is that?
Oh, sorry, I didn't explain that very well, did I? Eagle Scouts are given mentor pins to those people that help them along their trail. And I have the distinct honor of giving one to Mr. Lookout today for all he's done for me. Thank you. Now, as you guys can see, I got 2 more. And these people, I got to call them up together because they've helped me just as much and pushing me in every single step of that project that you guys saw. Because there was a little bit of a time delay. I did most of that over this summer in one panicked week, and there was a couple people I could call on any minute that were able to help me. I'd like to call Mr. Orlando Garris and Mr. Bill Auerbach. You don't have to be so surprised.
I am. Seriously, I am.
But I'm not joking at all, because Mr. Auerbach, I called him probably an hour or 2 before, and I realized, oh crap, these benches, how am I going to get them here? How am I going to get them to the church? They're at my house in Osteen. Our truck is in Osteen. Well, I was able to call Mr. Auerbach, and he was just said, no problem, I'm on my way. And there's just that pure selflessness and just willingness to help other people, especially succeed, and encourage me the way he has. And calling me, even at school, and say, hey, how you doing? How you doing on that PowerPoint for today? And just those constant reminders, and he's just believed in me all the way. Thank you, Mr. I forgot the backing, so can't put it on you. Starting to get a collection here.
I don't know. He's running out of space.
Shooting for a dozen?
Yeah.
You can stay up here a little bit longer.
I'm waiting.
Mrs. Garris, you helped me with every single aspect of that paperwork. And it was an agonizing process for me because honestly I stayed up a whole week long, every night, working on it, trying to get it right. And if I had a question, I could easily just come to you, say, hey, Mrs. Garris, what's wrong with this? And then you're just like, oh, you didn't spell something right. Yes, everything. And you were able to help me out every second by responding immediately as soon as you could, phone call away, and you even brought all the paperwork for me to the scout shop, so I didn't have to drive to Apopka. And even when I messed up and I couldn't make it, and I messed up, oh crap, my paperwork, and I wasn't able to do my board review the first time, you were still there and you helped me get it right this second. I thank you for that. You don't have to cry. You guys can sit down now. I have a couple other people I'd like to thank. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm all out. But if you could just please stand and be recognized. Kenny Connolly. He's our first Eagle Scout in our troop, so he needs a round of applause just for that. I called him up last week, and he was willing, despite the fact that he's getting married very, very, very soon, to step in and be my MC for today, or this morning. And he's done a fantastic job, and just been with me every step of the way. Thank you again, Kenny. Now, I have a couple more, so just hang on. Mr. Hilton, please stand and be recognized. He's my physics teacher. For those of you that know what AP Physics is, well, you could spell it a couple different ways, but plain difficult is one way to put it. But he's helped me every step of the way, not only in school, but here. After learning that I was a Boy Scout, we talked about it a little bit, and we just got to know each other a little bit better, even just that other way. And when I knew that I had to get some recommendations to become the Eagles, just some recommendations for my board review, people that would kind of help me along with that, he was the first person I thought of. Thank you so much, Mr.
Absolutely. No problem.
Anthony, come on. You're my brother, you get to get recognized too. He puts up with me, so. He also slept in my bed and I didn't get to sleep today. But Anthony has been there every step. If I need someone to help me, he's there because he lives there. He didn't really have much choice. But he put up with it, and I'll make sure that if he needs anything for his project, I'll be there 100%. Doesn't matter if I have college. Remember that. Thank you. Mrs. Farmer, you're next. You're with me again. Like everyone else here, I guess, and I mentioned every step in Cub Scouts. You even stepped up to be Cub Master for a little bit, remember? I mean, I don't know if you regret that one, but it was a huge undertaking. And it wouldn't have survived without you for as long as it did. And again, you helped me become not only more involved in staying Scouts, because at Weevil, I wasn't even completely sure if I wanted to. But you helped push me, maybe pull me along a little bit. But and he also provided me with Tyler. He was a good friend for me for a while. Because he was the only other person I knew for a while. So I'm really glad that we had that opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I've got 3 more, and then we're done, okay? Mr. Urbush.
Oh, no.
Thank you for helping me with everything as far as board review went, scheduling things, and taking your time out of your busy schedule to help me get my Eagle, because without you, I would definitely not have gotten it.
Thank you.
And working with me. Mrs. Wilder? You're a master decorator. I don't know what else to say. I have no artistic side to me, and when I knew that, hey, I should probably put something on those tables. I knew just who I should talk to. You were willing to, again, to help me, take out your time on Friday and come here and set it up. I didn't even have to worry about it while I was in school because I knew that you were just phenomenal at this. So thank you so much. I just realized I could probably thank everybody here for something, but since I don't really have the time, I'll go with the next one I thought of. So I'd like my two grandmothers in the audience to stand up, please, or at least wave at me. They've supported me in everything since I was born, carried me around, fed me, done whatever I needed, fly down to take care of me if my parents wanted to go on vacation, or even just be there when I needed someone to talk to. Thank you so much. I'm not going to get too emotional, so I'll let you take over.
Thank you again for coming out and participating in this ceremony. Let's give our new Eagle Scout one last round of applause. I now recall District Representative Walt Ritterbush to officially close this Eagle Scout Court of Honor.
All right, Gerald, you did congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Good job. All right, and you did a good project. I don't know how bear-proof your trash can was.
Well, I haven't checked it out recently, so I guess I'll find out.
Pretty big bears coming around your mess. But anyway, with the power invested in me from the national office, Iron, Texas, Central Florida Council, Boy Scouts of America, Tuscarora District, I now declare that this Court of Honor for Eagle Scout Gerald Cook is closed.
Cook once again to please come forward to give our benediction.
All rise for prayer. Please bow your heads and remove all coverings. Dear God, tonight we thank you again for bringing us together to celebrate Gerald's accomplishments. We thank you for the gift of Gerald Cook, for bringing him into our lives, and for letting us be a part of his Eagle Scout journey. We thank you for this ceremony, and we ask that you would bless the food we are about to eat. In your name we pray, amen. Maybe seat.
We'll do that as well. So, all guests, you guys can get going first if you like. But please don't eat everything.
Aww.
You can't escape.
You can think about a recommendation letter, we'll be okay. Okay, good stuff.
Okay, guys, we're gonna start true picture. So true first.
Want a little forward? Yeah. I guess they go all because the guy was.
Hey, Wayne?
Enjoy it. I got to ask you something. What's the thing with the scouts with the left-handed handshake?
That's just... I don't recall exactly what the deal is.
How are you?
He's going to have to patch.
You guys give me a little.